Another week, another series of concerning news stories surrounding Boeing. From in-flight incidents to alarming revelations about the company's internal practices, the spotlight on Boeing's troubles continues to intensify. On Monday, March 11, 2024, a Boeing 787 Dreamliner flight from Sydney to Auckland experienced a sudden and terrifying, abrupt drop mid-flight, leaving 50 passengers injured, though fortunately, no lives were lost. As if that incident wasn't troubling enough, the New York Times reported on the very same day that a Federal Aviation Administration (FAA) investigation into the production of the infamous 737 MAX jets found that Boeing failed an astonishing 33 out of 89 product audits at the factory where these planes are being built. This FAA inspection was directly linked to a startling incident in January 2024, where a door plug unexpectedly blew out of a 737 MAX 9 jet mid-flight, raising serious safety concerns. Now, it's important to note that air travel remains an exceptionally safe mode of transportation. In fact, over the past decade, only 2 Americans have lost their lives on U.S. commercial flights, while a staggering 365,000 Americans were killed in car crashes during the same period. The reason Boeing's recent failures have garnered such intense scrutiny is precisely because such incidents are so rare in the world of commercial aviation. However, as unsettling as these individual incidents may be, they represent mere symptoms of a larger, more systemic issue within Boeing, a toxic combination of profit-driven corporate culture, inadequate regulation, and strained resources. The flight control issues that led to the tragic 737 MAX crashes in 2018 and 2019, claiming hundreds of lives, and the more recent incident involving a missing bolt that caused a door plug to dislodge mid-flight, may seem like isolated incidents. However, there's a common thread that ties these events together: a growing criticism that Boeing has prioritized cost-cutting and corner-cutting measures over the objections and concerns of its own employees. For decades, Boeing took immense pride in its engineering innovation and unwavering commitment to product safety. This culture, however, began to shift in the late 1990s. As detailed in the book Flying Blind: The 737 MAX Tragedy and the Fall of Boeing by journalist Peter Robeson, safety concerns within the company were increasingly concealed or downplayed, driven by a relentless pursuit to be faster and cheaper than Airbus, Boeing's fierce competitor that overtook them as the world's largest commercial aircraft manufacturer in 2019. While Boeing's executives and shareholders reaped substantial financial rewards, tensions simmered among the rank-and-file employees, who argued that the company needed to invest more in the very people responsible for building and ensuring the safety of these planes. The cracks in Boeing's corporate culture became increasingly evident. In 2000, the company's engineers went on strike, voicing their frustrations with the direction the company was heading. Then, between 2019 and 2020, Boeing laid off thousands of employees, raising concerns about the experience level of those hired when the company began staffing up again post-pandemic. Former Boeing employees-turned-whistleblowers have come forward, detailing the serious safety problems they witnessed firsthand while working on Boeing planes. One such whistleblower, John Barnett, tragically died by suicide this week after giving interviews related to a lawsuit against the company. Barnett's family attributed his death to the PTSD and anxiety attacks he suffered as a result of the hostile work environment at Boeing. In response, Boeing issued a statement expressing condolences without directly addressing the allegations, further fueling concerns about the company's transparency and accountability. While Boeing's internal corporate culture is undoubtedly a significant factor in the company's struggles, it's crucial to recognize that these issues do not exist in a vacuum. Critics have also raised questions about the adequacy of the FAA's regulation and oversight of the manufacturing giant. One particular practice that has come under intense scrutiny is the FAA's policy of allowing manufacturers like Boeing to self-certify that their planes meet U.S. safety regulations. This practice, which essentially entrusts the fox with guarding the henhouse, has sparked widespread concerns about potential conflicts of interest and the need for more robust, independent oversight. Ganesh Sitaraman, a law professor at Vanderbilt University and the author of Why Flying is Miserable, encapsulates the issue succinctly. The reality is that markets need good, strong rules to work. Without those rules, the profit motive means that people will cut corners, squeeze and exploit consumers, and engage in all kinds of anti-competitive behavior. The FAA's approach to regulating the aviation industry has come under intense scrutiny, with questions arising about whether the agency is sufficiently funded and truly independent enough to provide proper oversight of industry giants like Boeing. In the wake of the intense public scrutiny surrounding these incidents, both Boeing and the FAA have taken steps to demonstrate their commitment to addressing these issues. Boeing has stated, "We continue to implement immediate changes and develop a comprehensive action plan to strengthen safety and quality, and build the confidence of our customers and their passengers. We are squarely focused on taking significant demonstrated action with transparency at every turn." However, those familiar with the long-running problems at Boeing remain skeptical, questioning whether these assurances are more than just empty rhetoric aimed at appeasing public concerns. While the chances of experiencing a catastrophic event while flying remain statistically extremely low, with the passenger vehicle death rate per 100 million miles being 595 times higher than scheduled airlines, the recent incidents involving Boeing planes have understandably left many travelers feeling uneasy. In fact, even a former senior manager for Boeing's 737 MAX program and the executive director of the Foundation for Aviation Safety have publicly stated that they would avoid flying on a recent Boeing product, particularly the 737 MAX, as much as possible. Matthew Oliver, an aerospace engineer formerly with the Canadian Armed Forces and an expert in complex systems failures and forensic investigations, echoes this sentiment, stating, "I would avoid flying on a recent Boeing product as much as possible." For those who share these concerns and wish to minimize their exposure to Boeing planes, particularly the 737 MAX, there are a few steps they can take. Check the flight details when booking your ticket to see what kind of plane is listed. Sign up for status updates from the airline. On the day of travel, check again with your airline or a site like FlightRadar24 to ensure it's the same kind of plane, as airlines often swap planes if one needs service or repair. If you find yourself booked on a 737 MAX, you can ask the ticket agent if you can be rebooked on a different flight. However, it's important to acknowledge that while these measures can help mitigate the risk, they come at the cost of significant inconvenience and potential additional expenses. Ultimately, each traveler must weigh their tolerance for remote risk against the realities of rebooking flights and potentially considering alternative modes of transportation, each with their own inherent risks. It's a delicate balance, but one that highlights the broader implications of Boeing's struggles: the erosion of public trust in an industry that relies heavily on consumer confidence. As we've explored throughout this video, the troubles plaguing Boeing are multi-layered and complex, with far-reaching implications for the aviation industry, regulatory bodies, and the flying public. On one hand, it's important to acknowledge that air travel remains an exceptionally safe mode of transportation, with the chances of experiencing a catastrophic incident being statistically minuscule. On the other hand, the recent series of incidents involving Boeing planes, coupled with revelations about the company's internal practices and the potential shortcomings of regulatory oversight, have understandably shaken public confidence. The crux of the issue lies in the apparent prioritization of profits over safety at Boeing, a cultural shift that seems to have taken root in the late 1990s. While the company once prided itself on its engineering innovation and unwavering commitment to product safety, the relentless pursuit of cost-cutting and corner-cutting measures appears to have taken precedence, often over the objections of the very employees responsible for building and ensuring the safety of these planes. This corporate culture, combined with questions surrounding the adequacy of the FAA's regulation and oversight, has created a perfect storm of uncertainty and mistrust. As both Boeing and the FAA attempt to reassure the public and take steps to address these issues, the true test will lie in their ability to demonstrate tangible, lasting changes that prioritize safety over profits and restore confidence in the aviation industry. For the flying public, the decision to continue flying on Boeing planes, particularly the 737 MAX, will ultimately come down to a personal assessment of risk tolerance. While some former Boeing employees and industry experts have chosen to avoid these planes altogether, others may weigh the statistical improbability of an incident against the inconvenience and potential additional risks associated with alternative modes of transportation. Regardless of individual choices, one thing is clear: the Boeing saga serves as a cautionary tale about the consequences of putting profits ahead of safety, and the importance of robust corporate accountability and regulatory oversight in industries where lives are quite literally at stake. As we continue to navigate the skies and technological advancements in aviation, it is crucial that we learn from the hard lessons of the Boeing saga and work towards fostering a culture of transparency, ethical decision-making, and an unwavering commitment to safety, not just in the aviation industry, but across all sectors that impact the well-being of the general public. Only then can we truly take to the skies with confidence and ensure that the remarkable achievements of human flight remain a source of wonder rather than trepidation.